How's it going, friends? Today's video is the first one of its kind, as far as I know, certainly the first one that we've done. It's basically where are the best places to buy a new build home in the Twin Cities. Just like the thumbnail says, this is Oscar. He's coming with us. He's my new pup. He's a very good boy. And this is a big list, is a big video. And then we're gonna do virtual tours of each individual place that we're talking about and do whole other videos, deep dives on those spots. Stick around. All right, Oscar's being pretty funny right now, but this spot we're talking is Lakeville. And I think Lakeville is definitely a candidate for the best value when buying a new build anywhere in the Twin Cities metro. And not just like it's the cheapest homes. I truly mean that the best value, best quality of life, best access to the city, etc. You have top 10 ranked schools. You have about a 30 to 35 minute drive to downtown Minneapolis without too heavy of traffic. The median price for all single family homes in Lakeville is $540,000. The median price for all new build single family homes is right around $600,000. Right now, there are 15 new build homes on the market, finished new build homes on the market. The median price per square foot is $221 per square foot, which is not the lowest, again, of anywhere, but all other things included, that's a lot of house for a lot of value and a pretty exceptional lifestyle. There are a ton of new developments and a ton of builders happening in Lakeville. Right now, I wanted to say at any given time, but right now, over the past, several decades for sure, there's Barris Ridge, Brookshire, Castellano, Cedar Hills, Glacier Creek, Highland Ridge, Pheasant Run, Preserve of Lakeville, Redstone, Summers Creek, and Sundance of Lakeville. That's a lot of additions. I'm in one right now, Pinnacle Reserve Park. Beautiful little park space. There's tennis courts, there's a basketball hoop. There's obviously plenty of green space and walking trails and a pond for pups and kids and adults alike. Next up on the list is Rosemount, and I grew up in Apple Valley, and Rosemount is directly next door. And when I was growing up, Rosemount was maybe a small town, right? It was not suburban, but now it is definitely becoming a proper suburb. Meta is building an $800 million data facility in Rosemount, and there are a ton of new build homes coming up here. Median cost for all single family homes in Rosemount is $510,000, and the median cost for new build homes is $545,000. So it is definitely on the low end, and the price per square footage is also certainly on the low end at $215 price average or median price per square foot in these new build homes. You get a lot of house for your money. There are new builds in neighborhoods right back here by Lennar, D.R. Horton on the most affordable end for starting in the very, very low 400,000s. But if you also have a budget of $1 million, you could get a pretty cool house by some really, really great builders over here. There are currently 70 homes for sale in Rosemount, and there are quite a few developments here as well. You have Amber Fields by M.I. Homes, Caramore Crossing by D.R. Horton, and Talamore by Lennar. I think it's pretty interesting that the biggest developments are by the biggest builders in basically the country, or certainly in Minnesota anyway. And a lot of that, I believe, is just because it is very much like the path of progress, right? Behind this camera right now is basically farmland, right? There is DCTC, which is Dakota County Technical College, right over here. But yeah, this is the edge of the path of progress. And If you happen to be somebody relocating to work at Meta, we've helped some of your coworkers already, so hit us up. And one little last thought is, if you need access to Mayo Clinic, whether it's because one of the couple of y'all is going to work at Mayo Clinic, but you want to more live in the metro, or you need it for medical reasons, Rosemount is a really, really good spot for that, because you have very good access to make that, commute time considerably shorter. Next up on the list is one of the towns or the areas that is about probably the furthest out from the metro or from a downtown as we're going to get in this video. It's debatably not quite in the metro, but I would say from like a county perspective, it definitely would qualify. And that is Wakonia, Minnesota. And right now I'm in like sort of the downtown strip, the downtown core of Wakonia. It's got a very cute, kind of old school, cozy downtown feel. Right now I'm maybe a block or two from Lake Wakonia, which is a beautiful lake, very large and highly regarded from a recreational standpoint. The median sale price for all single-family homes in Wakonia is $485,000. The median sale price for new builds is $522,000. And I think the reason those are so close here is a lot of it just has to do with the fact that so much of the growth, so much of the sales that Wakonia is seeing is in the new build world. There are currently 30 new build homes on the market in Wakonia, and it comes out to about $218 per square foot on average. As far as developments go, you've got the Fields of Wakonia from D.R. Horton, you have Waterford, I don't know, from Lennar. There's Orchard Park from MI Homes, and then there's Woodland Creek, which has a few different builders, including Fieldstone and like Hartman. And then next up on the list is Victoria, Minnesota. There's a lot of development happening in Victoria. So many different builders and different communities, popping up in the Victoria area. The median price for all single-family homes is $660,000 in Victoria, and the median sale price for new builds is $686,000, which honestly I think just says like almost everything selling in Victoria is a new build. It's very much just dominating the transactions overall, because again, there was so much open land here. It's connected. It's basically right on the edge of the West Metro. It kind of goes Minnetonka and Eden Prairie, Chanhassen and Chaska, and then Victoria. And Victoria used to be kind of the cute little small town just outside the metro, and now it is very much just part of the metro. There are currently 33 new build homes for sale, but you can probably see behind me a lot of lots as well. So really tons of opportunity to find a builder you love in a lot that you love in Victoria. And like I said, just so many different builders building here, so many different upcoming and current developments as well. And the median price per square foot is $226. It's a windy day. It's beautiful though. For the record, it's May 10th. It's like 88 degrees out, really, really low humidity. So nice, but yeah, pretty windy. So pardon any audio issues or, hair issues. For developments, you have the Hunters Brook development, which has Stonegate and Robert Thomas. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful development. Both those builders do a really, really good job. We've featured Stonegate quite a few times on this channel. Yeah, again, they do great work. Then there's Brookmore by Lennar. There's Birchwood at Marsh Hollow, which is an MI Homes development. And then Pulte has a development called Madeline Trail. There's also another Lennar proposed development coming up. And another really great spot on this list is Chaza, Minnesota. Chaza has this really great downtown. It's very established. It's been around for obviously a very long time. It's got this iconic yellow brick sort of aesthetic known as Chaza brick. And I'm actually here because I'm going to go to Jones Coffee right after this and pick up some Joe. Jones is awesome. There's quite a few locations around Minnesota. I was actually just sitting out on this patio with Nick on like the first beautiful spring day, right when we just got Oscar. And yeah, it's a great spot. And Chaza in general, really cool. I love this little downtown, but it's also just a proper suburb, you know, aside from this downtown area. And the median sales price for single family homes across the board is $570,000, and the median sale price for new build single family homes is $687,000. So a pretty big jump there for the new builds. And there's a really fascinating sort of relationship between homes that are built in really, really early 1900s, some even before that, and then also homes, you know, they might be right next to a home that was built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and then now also there are all these, you know, brand new homes here as well. The median price per square foot for the new build homes is $223 per square foot, obviously, and there's 51 homes for sale currently in Chaza. There's also tons of lots, pretty much always. There's so much kind of room left in Chaza, and it really is among the more accessible in the western suburbs. Accessible in two ways, really. Accessible to Minneapolis, but also accessible financially, where Chaza is sort of like bumping shoulders with some communities that have quite a considerably higher price point. There are a ton of developments happening here, and also a lot of builders. Robert Thomas has a new development called The Harvest, a beautiful spot. Robert Thomas does a really good job. D.R. Horton has Oak Creek, a less builder-specific development called High Point Vista. Yeah, we're more custom homes, but it's pretty much slotted to be all single-family homes there. I think there's like 125 or so lots. Carlson Bluffs is a development that is actively under construction. No specific builder, you know, designated to that spot. And there are several proposed community developments as well. Fultonwood, Tulare Curve, and Willowwood, all single-family home developments. Next up on the list is an absolute powerhouse within the Eastern Metro. Honestly, across the Metro, it has a reputation of being a place that's very desirable to live. And this is Woodbury, Minnesota. A huge part of the draw to Woodbury are the schools. Pretty consistently, you're going to see Woodbury being in the top 5 school districts in all of Minnesota, and that on a national level ranks very, very high. And because of those great schools, because of the proximity to St. Paul in particular, and also companies historically like 3M. In fact, 3M has actually played a pretty big role over the course of the history of Woodbury to sort of making it into what it is. There's some really beautiful neighborhoods in the older part of Woodbury that were sort of known to be started for like executives and things like that within the 3M company, and that fairly like high-end, more luxury style living has continued on easily since the 90s. I often call Woodbury one of the ultimate suburbs in the Twin Cities metro, just because it has pretty much everything that anybody would want who's looking for like a higher end suburb and a lifestyle that it comes along with that. The median single family home price in Woodbury is $567,000, and the median new build single family home price is $600,000. So not a huge variety there, but if you look on Zillow or whatever, HomeSpotter, or just, you know, the MLS, if we're sending you things, you will see that a lot of the housing stock that sells in Woodbury over the last 5 years or so has been new build. Right now there are 67 new build homes on the market in Woodbury, and the median price per square foot is $227. There are several developments, and there are, even if you're not looking for brand new, you're looking for what I like to call like a two build, not a new build, a two build, like a 2-year-old home, where there just are certain benefits to that. If you're curious what I mean by two build, leave a comment and I will elaborate, because I've made other videos where I talk in depth about that idea. There are several developments in Woodbury currently active. Right now we're in Waypoint of Woodbury. This is a Robert Thomas development. Robert Thomas does a really good job. We've helped several people end up in Robert Thomas homes as well. This is just a really, really beautiful area right here. Behind the camera, you can't see it, but you'll see the B-roll. There's just beautiful like rolling hills and the like. Then there's Arbor Ridge by Stonegate Builders here in Woodbury. There's Briarcroft development by Creative Homes. And then there is Settlers Ridge. Up on this list is Lake Elmo, Minnesota. Right now I'm at Royal Club Development by Lennar. And Lennar isn't necessarily known to be like a high-end or luxury builder, but this is considered a luxury development, at least as far as they're concerned. And I will say that Lake Elmo almost qualified for one of the next big videos we're doing, which is best places to build or buy a luxury home, a dream home kind of thing. Lake Elmo does have a lot of that, really palatial lot sizes sometimes. But the majority of the homes here are very, very nice, but I would say they don't quite make it into a luxury category. They are undeniably really great for most people and would be considered luxurious, but luxury category, I don't know, you got to draw the line somewhere. And the median single family home price in Lake Elmo is pretty high, $727. The median single family new build home price is $875. Again, right, it's getting close to, more of a luxury median, but not quite. Right now there are 21 new build homes for sale in Lake Elmo, obviously more lots than that available, and the average price per square foot is $259. You get a little bit less home for your money, but it's, given the prices, you actually don't get small homes, you just have to pay more. They do have some villas over here and in this neighborhood. It is also a golf course neighborhood, and so that villa lifestyle kind of works together there. A lot of really beautiful lots. There's one just backs up totally to beautiful wooded areas over here, and to me that's so much of what Lake Elmo is about. As far as developments go, of course, you have this one, Royal Club by Lennar. Robert Thomas has a development called the North Star development. There's a beautiful development called Wildflower at Lake Elmo. Variety of builders potentially there. And Pulte has a development called Union Park. And before we cut away from here, one quick little shout out. It's not going to make this one or the luxury neighborhood, is West Lakeland Township. It's pretty close to here in Lake Elmo and really has some beautiful homes available. There's just not that much to talk about, right? So honorable mention, if you like what you're seeing with Lake Elmo, check out West Lakeland Township as well. Right, y'all, and now we are in Cottage Grove, Minnesota, and this is the furthest southeast we're going in this video. Any further south, then you get to Hastings, which there are some new build homes there. I would just say it's kind of the amount of progress happening there just isn't quite as much. I do love Hastings. It just doesn't quite make the cut. Not quite as many options. Whereas Cottage Grove has a ton of new build activity and a pretty darn good variety, from more affordable townhomes to kind of executive level, like, really large, not quite luxury homes, but definitely on that higher end. And right now I'm in Northwick Valley, which is a development by D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton tends to usually be on the more affordable end. This is a little bit more of a high-end area for D.R. Horton, but it's still relatively affordable for a new build. Mid fives is kind of where they start. They do go up into probably the mid sevens. I think you'd be stretching to go to the mid eights though, in this particular neighborhood with D.R. Horton. Maybe eventually, if you're watching this in a year. Could be. And in Cottage Grove in general, the median single-family home price is $410,000, which is just literally like right next to what the median across the metro is, which just crossed 400 for the first time ever. It's like 401,000. Median price for new builds in Cottage Grove is 490,000, and the average price per square foot of new builds is $198. So it is much more on the affordable end, or probably the better way of looking at it is that you get a lot of house for your money in Cottage Grove. Right now, there's like 41 new build listings on the market and a ton of lots to choose from, kind of all over the place. Even in driving out here to shoot this part today, I was just driving through so much kind of like empty land, right? Like there's kind of farmland and just kind of unused, more like wetland and forested stuff over here. So I think it's just kind of a matter of time before Cottage Grove really starts cooking and taking off. It just happens to be a little bit further out than the likes of Woodbury. So Woodbury kind of saw everything first, and I think Cottage Grove is following behind. For the communities being developed here, you have Eastbrook Community by Stonegate. We've actually featured that on this channel with specific home tours. Stonegate makes some really beautiful homes, and we've been lucky enough to just kind of show y'all what those look like. And so Stonegate, still, there are new builds being built in that Eastbrook community. MI Homes has Mississippi Landing. Pulte Homes has Hawthorne. Obviously, D.R. Horton here has the Northwick Valley. And then Pulte Homes, Rachel Homes, there's also kind of a single family and townhome mix that doesn't really have a name. It's on Military Road and Jamaica Avenue. There are also townhomes on the most affordable end. It's pretty much as far east as things are getting developed right now in Cottage Grove. And Donne Homes has some townhomes right now that are, you can get like a 3-bed, 3-bath, almost 2,000 square foot, 2-car garage, new build townhome for $360, $370, $380, somewhere in that ballpark. So that affordability, obviously the trade-off is townhome versus single family home. But if you want new build, you want space, you want Cottage Grove, but your budget's $400 or something like that, pretty good option. Next up on the list for best places to potentially buy a new build home is Delano, Minnesota. And Delano really has like the soul of a small town. While being debatably in the metro or not, it really is close enough, I would say, for me to qualify it as within the metro. It's within about a 30-minute drive from Minneapolis, maybe 40 with some traffic, or depending on if you're trying to get to downtown or somewhere else within Minneapolis proper. Even in 2025, Delano is really like leaning into the small town feel. They still have the largest 4th of July parade celebration in the state. And they have this really quaint downtown along the river, which is where I am right now. And the median single family home price in Delano is $450,000. The median single family new build home price is $465,000. So I think that also helps to show that a lot of the houses that are selling in Delano are of that new build variety. And Delano has been around for a very long time, you know, hence the downtown, but there are homes 1900 built, and it's just slowly grown over decades and decades and decades. But now kind of the path of progress is starting to meet up with Delano, and so there's a lot more new builds happening here, and the development seems to be happening right now probably more than any other time in history. One thing notable is the schools actually rank very well here in Delano, and it's one of the more affordable Western metro suburb. Right now there are 48 new build homes for sale, and the median price per square foot is $194. That's definitely on the cheaper end, where you get about as much house for the money as just about anywhere else on this list. As far as developments go, there's Graywood by J.P. Brooks Builder, which is in Southwest Delano. There is Legacy Woods by M.I. Homes, and there is River Waters by Capstone Homes, which is along the Crow River, a pretty beautiful setting. And there are a variety of other builders building in Delano: D.R. Horton, Lennar, Pulte, Capstone, and M.I., of course, and those can be sometimes more like sprinkled throughout Delano. All right, next up on the list is Corkran, Minnesota. And Corkran is very close in terms of price point, generally, to making it to that luxury, that dream house, that, you know, more luxury build video that we're gonna be putting out pretty soon. But in my opinion, it doesn't quite make that cut. They're undeniably very nice homes. They are definitely not, you know, discount homes or anything like that, but they are builders that I would say don't qualify as luxury builders on the whole, and the price point just doesn't quite make the cut. The median single family home price point in Corkran is $679,000 for across the board. The new build single family median is $691,000. Again, this is one of those areas where most houses being sold here are either new builds or built in the last 4 years or so. There are currently 40 new build homes on the market right now. You can see right behind me, I'm in Lennar's Tavera development, and there are a ton of open lots, a lot of which are available. There are homes that are fundamentally completed where you can move in very quickly in this neighborhood as well. And median price per square footage in the new build homes here in Corkran is $256 per square foot. You know, creeping up a little bit higher than some of these other ones, but still not the highest price per square foot on the list. As far as the developments go, there's Cook Lake Highlands by Robert Thomas. That's basically all single level villas, which there is kind of a lot of single level villas in the Corkran area. There's Rush Creek Reserve by M.I. Homes. That's villas, two-story single families, and even townhomes. There's Walcott Glen by Pulte Homes, and that is mostly townhomes and single family homes. Then there's Hope Meadows by J.P. Brooks Builders. That's pretty much all townhomes and twin homes. And then of course there is Tavera by Lennar, which is, I believe, almost entirely single family homes, if not entirely single family homes. And one last thing super worth mentioning, of course we'll dive into this more on the full virtual tour, but Corkran, most of it, I believe all of it, has access to Wayzata schools, #1 school district in the state, undeniable, in the top 50 in the country, Wayzata schools. All right, let's keep going. right, y'all, and next up on the list is St. Michael. St. Michael is truly one of the fastest growing suburbs in the metro, and it has been for the last couple of decades. There was not a whole lot going on here as of, 20 years ago, and it's really developed into a pretty substantial suburb. Very highly ranked schools, good access to both up north, by way of I-94, and more of the northwestern part of the state, as well as, of course, the city. It's decent proximity to both, really, of those. Median sale price for single family homes here is $477,000, and for new build single family homes, that's $509,000. There are 54 homes currently on the market, and the average price per square foot is $201. One of those, just middle of the pack, you get a lot of house for your money in general, and I'd say really, really great lifestyle, really great amenities in not just the developments and the communities that they're building out here, but the greater community on the whole. You've got Anton Village by Lennar Homes and Vista Point by M&I. M&I, or MI, also has just an all townhome development called the Towns at Lakeshore Park. Right now we're in Legacy Bay Farms, and actually, there's some pretty cool remnants of old farms sort of surrounding this community, and that's by Capstone Homes. Very much on the affordable end, potentially. A lot of very, very affordable new builds in this development. Then there's Gons Lake by Lennar, so they have two different developments going on in St. Michael. Makes sense. A lot of building going on here. And then Hanson Builders has Lakeshore Park. Hanson has not been mentioned yet a ton on here. They don't make as many homes as some of these other builders, but they do make really beautiful homes. And next up on the list is Hugo, Minnesota, a northern suburb, and really has some beautiful, almost approaching up north landscape, and really quite affordable, all things considered. I'm in Watercrest of Hugo, and this is a Hanson Builder development. There's also within eyeshot, I think there's some Robert Thomas, stuff literally right behind the camera. And there's several developments happening here in Hugo as well. Median sale price of all single family homes across the board, $485,000 here in Hugo. And the new build is just $490,000. So literally $5,000 more. And a big part of that is just the fact that so many of the homes selling here are new builds, and even some of the pre-existing homes. A lot of what Hugo was sort of originally or early on getting developed, there was some larger lot sizes, or maybe waterfront homes, and at the time it was maybe a little bit further out of the metro. Now it's just properly part of the metro. There are 28 new homes for sale here in Hugo, and the average price per square foot is $211. So really in that meaty part of the curve. And as far as developments goes, there's Onika Shores by MI Homes, there's Watercrest of Hugo by Hanson Builders, and then there's Adelaide Landing, which is Robert Thomas and Creative Homes. There's the Meadows at Hugo by Centra Homes, and then Onika Place by Creative Homes. Whoa, where do you want to go? But all right, we're gonna keep going. Next up on this list is Lino Lakes, Minnesota. Lino Lakes is basically just to the west of the likes of Hugo. And the median sale price across the board for single family homes in Lino Lakes is $386,000. the median sale price for new builds is $765,000. So a huge jump. And that's because Lino Lakes has been around for a long time and it has pretty modest homes other than the homes that have been built in probably the last 5 or so years. And there's honestly not like a ton of inventory here in Lino Lakes currently for sale, but I would say a decent amount. And this is a Lennar development. We'll talk about that in a second. And the median price per square foot here in Lino Lakes for new builds is $203 per square foot. Right now I'm in the Watermark by Lennar development. Obviously it's entirely owned by Lennar and being developed by Lennar, and it's single family homes and villas pretty much entirely. Then there's Nature Ridge by MI Homes. That is entirely single family homes. Then of course there are proposed developments, and the most notable of which is by Lennar also, and it's called Peltier Ponds. All right, let's keep going. And then next up on this list is Blaine, Minnesota. Blaine is actually a very, very large suburb that has been pretty steadily developed over many, many decades at this point. But because it's so large, it has tons and tons of new build inventory, or at least newer build. Again, just a lot of development over the last decade or so. The median sale price for single family homes across the board is $445,000 in Blaine. New build single family home median is $540,000. Right now there are 60 new build homes on the market in Blaine and tons of lot spaces available, like where I am right now. And the median price per square foot is $214 per square foot. Blaine is super accessible to like the downtown Minneapolis and downtown St. Paul areas. There's several different school districts that serve Blaine. A lot of the newer build homes tend to be in school districts that rank really quite well. There are a ton of builders building in Blaine right now. Creative Homes, Lennar, D.R. Horton, MI Homes, Pulte Homes, Jonathan Homes, Newmark Homes, NIH Homes, TJB Homes. It's pretty wild how many different things are going on. The main developments happening right now would be like Oakwood Ponds by Creative Homes, Lexington Waters by Lennar, North Meadows by D.R. Horton, Alexander Woods by D.R. Horton, Boulder Estates by Boulder Contracting, and Harper's Haven by D.R. Horton. Again, so many different spots. It's really big, and pretty much every price range. Maybe just the only thing that's not here would be like the super luxury home.